Hello virtual dreamers, Gregory here, and this is the Prologue, a weekly series of videos where I document my activities, track my stats, and complete quests, all for the sake of achieving my ultimate goal of breaking down the barriers between dreams and reality. The active quests for this week were VR Locomotion and 2 per week. So how have they been going? Okay, I guess. I had a test for Physics 2 this past week, so I lost a lot of the time which would have been spent doing other things to studying extra hard in order to make sure that I managed to pass it. Which I did, so I guess you could say that all worked out for the best. I also took the time to order the Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale Limited Edition Blu-ray release. I was considering getting the standard edition, but I wound up going for the limited edition since it comes with a booklet that contains a lot of art as well as other features and information on the production for Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale. This particularly interests me because Ordinal Scale actually features a lot of elements, lore, and other things from the original Aincrad and Sword Art Online in-universe, which is going to be very useful because I have a few things that may or may not require some of that information, and it'll be nice to have that on hand for the time that I need it instead of having to Google for everything. I'll go into what I'm planning here at a later date. Also, the side quest, 2 per week, is so far going to be able to continue along as normal. I just barely managed to squeak in there at 172.6 pounds this week versus the 172.8 that I needed to successfully clear the quest, so just a 0.2 pound margin there. A drink of water could easily have made that difference. But we're trucking along here, and even the average is reflected, so I guess even that's been working out well enough. Alas, the quest that I really wanted to get done has its own little story to tell. Well then everyone, to wrap up the summation portion of this video, the quest for the week of July 8th to July 14th, VR Locomotion is failed. You all probably saw this coming the moment that the video popped up, but yeah, I didn't manage to complete the VR Locomotion video. It's sad to say, but trying to cram a second video into a week where I had an exam to take probably wasn't the smartest idea on my part. Add in that I wound up making significant changes to the format of the video, as well as changing up the script in order to accommodate that, and thus necessitating some reshoots, and really I wasn't exactly setting myself up for success here. It's an unfortunate outcome, but that's just how things worked out. I did manage to get a lot of the work done for it though. I mean, the script is done, recorded, and a lot of the main footage has already been shot, so it's just a matter of editing it all together. If it weren't because I want to try to get these videos out on a certain time, I'd probably be able to release the VR Locomotion video before this one if I really tried. But the quest time was also allotted for July 8th to July 14th. I don't think using a Sunday release is really the best way to accommodate things though, so I'm not going to cheat myself here, just going to be straight up honest and leave it as failed. Either way, I think I'll be able to release the video a lot sooner than I would have if I didn't make it a quest, so in that sense this quest was a bit of a victory, but it's a bittersweet one. Well, what's done is done, and I need to move on to my next quest to redeem myself for the failure of this week. The quest for the week of June 15th through June 21st, 2018 is Vision of the Future. I have to create a 3D model of the nerve gear for this quest. I've had this quest tossing around in my head for a while now though, but I couldn't really find the occasion for it. But since I'm beginning to do a little bit more 3D modeling for my game development stuff at this point in time, I think it's just about as fitting a time as I'm going to get in this year to really just go in on it. So yeah everyone, by the end of this quest I should have a completed 3D model of the nerve gear available. I have a very particular use case in mind for this thing right now, but since I'm not ready to announce anything on that front, I'll leave it to your imaginations for now. Well, that just about does it for me everyone, but you all had a quest to be completing during this time period as well. The Second Coming of VR. You were tasked with naming the game that John Carmack used back in E3 of 2012 in order to demonstrate the early prototype unit of what would eventually become the Oculus Rift. The answer to that question was Doom 3 BFG Edition, with the original release, Doom 3, coming out in 2004. We only had one slot available for completion of this quest, and that slot went to Digital Horizons. Congratulations for the completion of the quest, Digital Horizons. Your award for clearing this quest, alongside your little shout out here, is a sketch of the character of your choosing putting on an Oculus Rift DK1. The character you chose for this was Meliodas from Nanatsu no Taizai, or the Seven Deadly Sins. that was actually a very interesting choice for me because I'm not really used to drawing characters of his proportions, really, since he's a lot on the shorter side. And I just generally tend to draw relatively average sized characters, or at least I kind of try to in my head. So yeah, it was certainly an interesting challenge. Let's put up the sketch right now. As you can see, he's putting on the Oculus Rift DK1 as was stated, but I figured I'd throw in a little text bubble there, as well as just kind of change his expression a bit to kind of indicate what he wants to do with it. Since the main thing that comes to mind with me with Meliodas using a VR headset, since, I mean, he could be trying to play a video game or something like that, but I can't help but feel he's not really the type for that, especially considering that this involves a fantasy setting. So I went with, what would I do in order to get Meliodas to try on an Oculus Rift? And then I realized that I just needed to do the exact same thing that ends up happening with almost every single person who crosses into my bedroom to try an Oculus Rift. So yeah, I just decided to make a play on Meliodas' perverted nature for the sketch. Shame about the whole VR touch and haptics thing though, otherwise he really would have been having a ball there. Once again, Digital Horizons, congratulations for the completion of the quest. With that, it's time to move on to your next quest for the week of July 15th through to July 21st, 2018. Point of Embarrassment. In the very first light novel for Sword Art Online, Abeck was tasked with drawing several illustrations for the book, but they made a small mistake in one of the illustrations in that they kind of drew one thing without considering the actual description that was provided by the original text. So that wound up being a point of embarrassment for them, since the anime version winds up looking a lot better than theirs and is a lot more accurate, and people even remarked, where's that feature that's supposed to be on there? I'll give you guys this little hint, it's mainly relating to the shape. Therefore, your job is to provide the shape mistake that was made by Abeck inside of the original light novel. We will have 5 clears for this quest, but only one will receive the main reward, which is a sketch of their chosen character wearing the first floor beginning of the game equipment from Aincrad Sword Art Online. In addition, they will be holding the weapon of your choosing so long as it fits within the canon of Sword Art Online. So no machine guns inside of SAO, although you did get kind of close to that in ordinal scale, but original SAO here, people. The sketch will appear in the next prologue. In addition, the other 4 clears will have their shoutouts provided in next week's video as well. Good luck to you, my fellow adventurers and dreamers. Till next time, this has been Gregory, logging out.